Attraction has an order, and you've been running it backwards. There's a specific kind of person who does everything right and still loses. You know the one. Maybe you are the one. You're kind. You're not stupid. You text back fast. You're considerate. You make it obvious you're interested. And the people you want keep treating you like furniture. Then some guy with half your qualities walks in, does less, and lives with the person you'd been nice to for 3 months. The story you've been told is that you're missing something. Be hotter, richer, funnier, more high value, whatever the guy selling the course means by it this week. I don't buy it. I think you've got the right ingredients and you're adding them in the wrong order. Like following a recipe perfectly and putting the eggs in after you baked the cake. Same ingredients as everyone else. Inedible result. Attraction has an order. Almost nobody tells you what it is, and even the people who try usually get it wrong. So let's fix the sequence, and then I'll show you the thing hiding underneath it that actually runs the show. Here's the wrong order. You lead with interest. You meet someone, you like them, and because you're honest, you act like it right away. The fast reply, the good morning text, the guy who's emotionally all in on someone he's known a week. You hand over your interest like it proves how good your intentions are. But watch what interest actually does. The moment you show it, you hand the other person a decision. Do I accept this or not? You've asked them to say yes or no to you, and you asked before they had anything to decide with. They don't know what you're like when a plan falls apart, whether people respect you, whether you're warm or just needy. You ask them to choose you before giving them one reason to. When someone has to decide with no information, they default to no. Of course they do. Saying yes to a stranger is a risk. Saying no costs them nothing, so they pass. Not because you're unlikable, but because you called the vote before anyone knew what they were voting on. So flip it. If interest forces a decision, your only job beforehand is making sure that when the decision comes, it's already leaning yes. You go first with something else, not your interest, your value. And while they sit in it, they start deciding they like you before you've asked them to. The vote happens quietly, no pressure, and every good thing adds a point in your column. By the time you show interest, you're not asking a stranger to gamble. You're asking someone who's already half made up their mind. Now, what counts as value? Because the internet has opinions. When guys hear value, they think status, money, looks, the job, the car. That's real, but it ranks lower than you've been told. And there's research on the actual order. Start with timing. Alexander Todorov at Princeton University found people judge your trustworthiness from your face in 1/10 of a second. And more time doesn't change the verdict. It just makes them more confident in it. So whatever sits at the top of the list gets read almost instantly. Status takes time to build. Something beats it there. That something is warmth. Susan Fiske's and Amy Cuddy's work at Princeton as well shows we judge everyone on 2 axes, warmth and competence. And warmth gets judged first and counts for more. It's survival old. Before your brain cares whether you're impressive, it needs to know whether you're safe. Are you on my side? Get that wrong and nothing else lands. So the highest value thing you can put out in the first 5 minutes isn't I'm impressive, it's I'm warm. And I'm not a threat. Competence is second. Are you good at something? Do you have your act together? That lands after warmth, and it lands hardest when it's real instead of narrated. Status is third, and it forks. Psychologist Cheng found 2 ways humans reach the top. Dominance, control through intimidation, and prestige. Status people hand you because you're genuinely skilled or generous. Both get you rank. Dominance gets you obeyed. Prestige gets you liked. The guy putting people down to look high status is running dominance, and it reads exactly as ugly as it is. The guy people gravitate to because he's good at things and generous with it, that's prestige, and it's the only status worth showing. Warmth, then competence, then prestige. Almost the reverse of what most guys lead with. And here's the part everyone botches. Knowing your value and announcing it are different things, and announcing it destroys it. Harvard Business School ran 9 studies on this and named the failure the humblebrag. Why do I always get asked to lead the project? It tested worse than plain bragging. Worse than plain complaining too. The second you narrate your own value, it reads as insecure. Because you broadcast the strengths you're worried nobody will notice, not the ones you actually have. So value gets shown, never claimed. Don't tell her you're generous. Be the one who quietly takes care of the group. Don't say people respect you. Let her watch someone light up when you walk in. Don't announce you're calm. Just be the steady one when the plan collapses and everyone else panics. Value you point at yourself shrinks. Value someone discovers on their own grows. Your whole job is to set up the discovery, then get out of the way. Okay, I told you this was about order. I lied a little. Because if the rule were only value, then interest, you could show value to a room and throw your interest at anyone in it. It doesn't work. Something runs underneath the order, and is the thing that actually decides everything. Selectivity. Finkel and Paul Eastwick ran a speed dating study. Real people, 4-minute dates, rating everyone they met, and they found something brutal. When someone showed romantic interest in everybody that night, those people on average wanted them less. Not neutral, less. They measured it. But when someone showed interest in one specific person uniquely, that person was more likely to want them back. Same interest, opposite result. The only variable, aimed or sprayed. Sit with that. Showing interest early was never the problem. Indiscriminate interest is. A guy who's into everyone is telling the room his interest means nothing. It's not a read on you, it's just his setting. The guy who's clearly warm, clearly has options, and then picks you, that interest is worth something, because it came with a filter attached. This is exactly what Robert Cialdini's work on influence predicts. Cialdini found that scarcity drives perceived value, and your interest is no different. When it's rare and directed, it carries weight. When it's abundant and sprayed at everyone, it's worth nothing. Selectivity isn't playing games. It's letting the economics of attention work in your favor. So the real rule was never hide your interest. It's have standards and let your interest mean something when you spend it. That's not stingy, that's selective. They look the same from outside and they are opposite on the inside, which means before you show interest, you read for it. You're looking for one thing. Does this person show signs of wanting you back before you've committed anything? Most of those signs come first, and they are nonverbal. A researcher named Monica Moore spent over 100 hours watching people in bars and catalogued 52 nonverbal signs women use to show interest. The held glance that flicks away, the body turning toward you, a small excuse to touch your arm, her finding that wrecks most guys, the signals come first, and the approach that works comes after you've caught one. The men who did best weren't the boldest. They read the green light before they moved, but eyes lie sometimes, so you test gently. 2 small tests you can use every time. Test 1. Ask for something tiny. Watch my drink, hand me that, come look at this. There's a 200-year-old bit of psychology here, the Ben Franklin effect. When someone does you a small favor, they like you more, because their mind decides they must have wanted to. But just their reaction also tells you if they are into you or not really. Test 2. Lead slightly and see if they follow. Not, will you go on a date with me? That's the big swing that forces the premature vote all over again. Just drift towards the other room and see if they come. Suggest the next thing and watch whether the yes comes easy. You're not asking them to decide on you. You're reading whether they lean in when you move. And that's the sequence, the real one. Not be more. You were probably always enough. You were just running the combination in the wrong order, hurling your interest at people with no reason yet to catch it, at everyone instead of someone. So flip it. Be warm before you are impressive. Show it, don't announce it. Have standards you can actually feel. Read the room before you move. And then, only then, take all that interest you've been giving away for free and spend it on one person who's already leaning in. Do that, and you stop being the person who did everything right and lost. You become the one who did a little less and left with the person everyone else was still being nice to.